Victoria Ekhomu, and I am the Managing Director of Transport Security Systems, and I'm also the ASIS, African Advisory Council Chairman. I am from Uzebu in Igwebe, and my family name is Isangbedu, and me Isangbedu, and the head of my family is the Oniha of Igwebe. My father was the second son, but the first son of my grandfather was the Oniha of Igwebe. I grew up in a family of 6 children, and I was the first, and I'm the first child of a family of 6. And my father worked with Central Bank of Nigeria, where he retired as a deputy director. My mom was a teacher. My parents inculcated the right family values in us. That's integrity, honesty, hard work. Then be nice to your neighbors, because that's very important. Just be nice to your neighbor. It doesn't matter who they are, what religion, where they are from, and then the value of education. I'm married to the most wonderful man I could ever have prayed for, my soulmate, in the person of Dr. Ekhomu.
Be lifted high, be lifted high.
Who most people know as a security expert in the country and in diaspora. And I have children, 5 children, 2 boys and 3 girls, and they're all doing very well. I have a financial consultant as a first son, a pediatrician, have a business. My other daughter works in in a multinational organization, and the others. The last boy just graduated as a chemical engineer. So while the fourth one is a general manager with our company, because that was a value that my parents passed on to me, to ensure that education was given to all the children. So I also had to pass it out, because I remember my dad used to say, "Don't wait for what I'll give you. The education is the most important one." So we focus on education, but himself and my mom also ensured that they gave us different assets, but that is not the focus. So with the education we have, we can acquire assets. That's in fact the value, instead of depending on what daddy or mommy is going to give out to you. So I think education is still the best thing. I work with my husband. He's the chairman, and I'm the managing director of Transport Security Systems, and I'm also the executive vice chairman for transport group of companies. Then also the executive president for School of Management and Security. So with me working with him, which in fact started from the US, because it's common for husband and wives to work together, we were able to manage our time, because with the growing up years for the children, there are times as a woman you get pregnant, so you have to be off the work. So since we are running the company together, even in the US, and when we even returned back to Nigeria, I was allowed time to go off to take care of the children. But with my husband, working with him, it has made it easy to work together and be able to balance the home front and the work front, because in the work front it can be very, very busy, and I'm sure you've encountered that. It can be very busy, But I thank God that most of the children are grown up now.
Bold Faces, the pinnacle of success.
My husband was installed the Ogbeni of Irua about 20 years ago. Then because of the contributions my husband, Dr. Ekhomu, has made to the community and to Nigeria at large, his position was elevated and he was made a high chief. And in fact, he came about when he was looking at how to promote the culture that we have in Isha. You know, we have a lot of cultural things, but, you know, it's not too many people know about it. Zigba Boneleme or Jeke, you know, the different dances that we have, even the way we dress with the Igbulu, you know, and then with the women and our dances, the way we dance or Jeke and everything. So we've been trying to look for how to promote it. So even at the cultural part, he has tried to work with the association. Then as a chief, he has also done a lot to try to promote that culture, working with the Onoge of Irua. And then we also, you know, for some years, we were trying to also we had a scholarship to help with education, you know, that's to children in secondary school and in tertiary university, you know, to help with that area.
Bold Faces, the pinnacle of success.
Transport security system was a subsidiary to Transport Consultants, and it was established in the U.S. In 1980. We had a consulting firm before, but with the security issues that we're having even in the U.S. and in Nigeria, we decided to have a subsidiary, which was Transport Security. So we started installing systems even in the U.S. Then also bringing systems back to Nigeria. So we're doing some in the US and then some in Nigeria. And then, but the US body was supporting the Nigerian part. So I was in the US end. And over time, we decided to, you know, both be here, because my husband was the one that was going back and forth between Nigeria and the US. But over time, we decided to come back home and be more here while we visit, go back and forth to the US. We've tried to contribute our own quota to helping reduce the insecurity in Nigeria. And then even in the US at the time, there were a lot of breaking and entering into homes in the US. So by installing alarm systems, that was helping to reduce crime at the time. And then we're connecting the systems to central stations. And so we're doing it for those both at home and then even businesses, and also installing fire alarm systems at that area. So we now transfer the technology here, and we started doing a lot of systems for some years. But after a while, we decided to also go into guarding and then, you know, bring in more technology. So you see, we do fire alarms, we do burglar alarm systems, we do closed circuit televisions, access control, we provide guard services. Then we also provide the bulletproof system. Then we do executive protection. Then we also do training and a lot of consulting for a lot of companies. But our training arm became so big that we decided to spin it off and make it a subsidiary. And that's School of Management and Security. The School of Management and Security, we do a lot of courses for the oil companies, for the banks, for manufacturing companies, for the public, And some of the programs we also do certification, security certification. In fact, we represent International Foundation for Protection Officers. That's a U.S. association. We represent them in Africa. So the School of Management is the arm that does the training part of it. And one of the certifications that the school does implement and does handle is Certified Protection Officers Program. That's the highest certification in the world, and it's administered by ASIS, American Society for Industrial Security. So we also have a training program for them here, where we have a class, and they come. At times they do their computer exams, but when it's paper and pencil, it's done every 6 months. And our school is also used as a center to, do the examination for the certified for the CPP. So, but when we are doing it, depends on the number of people. So we have a lot of people from the Navy, from the Army, from the police, from the corporate world, the industry that have attended this. That's to help. Like I said, our goal was to professionalize the industry, because we saw that everybody was just getting into security. Maybe they are supplying a chair and they get there, they need security. They say, oh, we can do it. So we decided to come up with a focus to ensure that those who are practicing security at least know what it's about, because security is serious business. That's protecting the lives and properties of the populace and even the nation. So, and there's a lot of knowledge that you have to acquire. So we do Certified Protection Professional, that's a CPO program. Even the CPP, which is Certified Protection Professional, that's the highest security certification you can get in the world. So even if anybody, whether it's a white man or whatever, said he had a certification, when you have it, you are at par with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we also, Dr. Ekhomu, the chairman of my company, was the first to have it in this in the West African area. And with having that, we have also decided to get more people to also have that certification. So the school also has classes for CPP, in addition to having classes for CPO. Then we also have other programs like basic security program, that's teaching guards, security guards, so that they have the information on what they can utilize. Then it's not only even security guards, but anybody that wants to get into security, that helps them to get at least the body of knowledge to understand what they are doing, so that they can perform better at what they do and protect the people better. And then they can know even the laws that guides what they're doing, because if you don't know the laws, then you will violate the laws. You understand? You have to know, what you have. So we have that. We have different training on offer, a lot of them. We just finished a program of strategy, that's teaching strategy, and we had people from the Navy and from the Army and from the corporate world in class, teaching strategic management, which MDs, and I was in fact a student in this class. You understand? Because as a managing director, that's a core part of your work. That's planning, having a strategic plan in place. So we do that. We do so many other courses, like we do that's defensive driving, offensive driving, so that you've seen a lot of high-profile people being killed on the road because of ambush. How do they survive that ambush? How can they avoid it? After the Kudirat event and some other ones. We teach how you can survive it, and you can get away, how you can use your vehicle as even a weapon, to survive it. So we do those kind of security driving. We do different personnel security training, and so we have a lot of courses on offer that we teach a lot of people who come to our school. Then at times, even some different organizations, they will have some issues and they will have us customize training where we train them for what they really want, their specific requirements. So at times they come to our school. I will show you our school. We have different classes. They come to our school. At times we take them on retreat. We'll take them to hotels. At times we travel, take them overseas. Then there are other cases where we do the training in the location of the customer. Like if they have a lot of people, like for CBN, we go to them. They might have about 50 people they want us to train. We'll train them. They don't have to travel here. We'll do that. Then like FRS, when we're training them, they wanted to also train their security people. They brought the people. It was residential, so we had 2 classes for them. One was 30, another one was about 30 again, and they came to our school. Then some will go to, like when we're training for liquefied NLNG, we'll go to them in Bonny and train them, on terrorism, with this terroristic problem, train them on terrorism, even a kidnapping. How do you survive a kidnap? We have to also train them on different things, and how do you also avoid it, because there are so many things that can be done, so we have a lot of courses on offer that we provide for our clients.
We're really excited to be here.
This is an important show.
Look around you. Everybody's here.
Every second you're at the show is a different opportunity to meet somebody new and interesting.
I think that is simply fantastic.
I wouldn't miss it for anything. One of the best security shows in the world.
Before now, there was a lot of unprofessional conduct by security people, and we felt that there was a way to professionalize the people in the industry. And how best to do that than to join an international security associations and utilize their best practices in this part of the world. We belong to ASIS, American Society for Industrial Security, which is an international association. It's the biggest security association worldwide with over 38,000 members and counting. And annually, they have security conferences in the US and then in different continents.
ASIS plays a critical role in fusing and developing the security movement of the future.
And in going there, you see different security solutions which are now transferred back to help to solve the problems that we have back here. Then we, on this side, we also have security conferences, which that's in the region here to address security problems that are specific to our region. And then when we do it, we do a lot of networking with our people. We're able to look at what new solutions are there, because the criminals, criminals are coming up with new techniques, So we, as those trying to prevent crime and, also stop the criminals in their track, must also come up with new ways and new methods and new technology to stop them in their track. So it's evolving, and we're doing our best, to work with them overseas so that we can address the problems that we do face back here in Nigeria. In security, we have what we work around is the 4 Ds and the R. And the first D is deterrence. So we put measures for those in security. And then the next one is detection. When you put a CCTV in place, it's to detect. You understand? You put an alarm system, it's to detect. You put an X-ray machine, it's to detect. walkthrough method is to detect. Are you getting me? Then we now have delay. If you put as many of these measures in place, that will delay the perpetrator. In addition to detecting, it will delay. If one doesn't get him, another one. So we put as many, the delay will put as many obstacles in the way, so that before the perpetrator gets to the target, then he can be denied access. Then another is that he can also, the response will come. So that's the 4 Ds and the R. That's deterrence, detection, delay, deny, and then response. Then at times we call it, we also have a 5th D, which is destroy. When the military come and they, shoot out the people, it's destroying, they're destroying. Or the police come and they shoot, they're destroying. So security is built around those things.
Bold Faces, the pinnacle of success.
I would say there are different courses in this part of the world. One is education. If these people in the Niger Delta and in the north, they are trained, most of them will become productive members of the society. So education is a big part of it. When you have the Nigerians in the north, they are not trained, of course, and the wealth is not flowing down as it should, so that at least the distribution of wealth makes it, so that everybody can almost, be able to survive, creates its own dysfunctionality. Then if you're in the Niger Delta, you see the oil flowing and it's not coming to you at all. It becomes a problem. Then also the fact that at times even the oil wells, at times the leakages, where it pollutes the waters, makes it difficult for even some of them that want to go into agriculture to do so. Because their lands are polluted, or then the waters they want to fish. Some of them they had a life for fishing. They can't fish. Lack of power. Because I recall a lot of people started trying to do some business, hairdressing, barbing, welders, and they started doing some little things at least to earn their living, and then lights. When it becomes impossible to even get light, that has also created, so I know some people even come for job with us as gas because their business they can't continue, they can't cope because no light to continue their business. So as a result, they now start looking for work. That's those who want to at least go the productive way. Others will go the criminal way.
Get up. Quick, get up.
Okay.
Get up. Yeah, down. Down before I blow your head off.
One of the things I have to say is that people should not show off wealth too much. Even if you are rich, you don't have to show it off. Because that at times makes you an unwilling or witting target. Then at times, even when we are in vehicles, you are using a big car. That's just the fact that you have a big car can also make you a target. So what you do at times is to change your vehicles. At times, even if you have a big car, which you must use once in a while, so your car, you bought it so that you can use it. So if you use it once in a while, change your vehicles, alternate vehicles. At times, just use some cars that are not attractive. If you are going to some areas where there isn't much wealth, then use a car that will not stick out at least. Then don't leave bags in the car where they can easily see. When they see, that might attract them to at least break into the vehicle and then when you are also in the vehicle, your phones or computer, you shouldn't put them on, because that also will attract them to you, and in the process of trying to get what you have, they might harm you. Then another one is that we have to be vigilant. You also have to be vigilant. You are going, a car is following you. If you are not vigilant, you might not know a car is following you. When you leave a place, just mark what is by you. Just mark it. I want to tell the women, they must take their education seriously, because to be able to excel in a corporate world, and more so even in the man's world, education is critical. Just do your best. People are watching you. So that's what I would say to the women. Do your best. People are watching you, and your work will shine out. And, you'll be able to, attain the different positions that you want. But when you are there, do not go there stealing. Do not go there doing things that are not right. No vices. Just stay on the straight and narrow path, and your work will shine out. At the time I came back, it was when Andrew was checking out. And people asked me, why are you coming back when people are checking out? I'm a very patriotic person. I wanted to be back home. Even my husband did not agree with me, but he used to go back and forth. He used to have the benefit of coming to Nigeria back. But I was in the US for 9 straight years without coming. When I look back, I am very happy that I did that, because it also helped me to build my children. US might be good, but it has its vice. It has its problem for children. Raising up children in that community can be a problem. And then I always wanted to be in my country, not be in another person's country. I love to visit. I visit. I'm a citizen of that place. I can go, but here first. So I love my country, and I love the fact that I'm able to contribute also my quota to this country and make my impact in Nigeria. So that was a step I took. It wasn't easy, because at the time my husband did not agree with me, but I'm sure we never talked about it, my moving back, because even the time we talked, it wasn't quite agreeable. But I think looking back, I'm sure he will thank me that we did. And it's in fact positively affected us, and so that was a very positive step I made.